All right, let's get this show started!
Jiri Prochazka isn't pleased with the UFC's latest post on X. The promotion announced Prochazka as the comeback of the year winner for his victory over Khalil Rountree Jr. at UFC 320, but the former champion disagrees with the label. Prochazka said his win over Rountree shouldn't be considered a comeback, despite receiving the award. He wrote, "Appreciate it, and one more thing, it was not a comeback. I watched that 2 days back, and here is my result. I controlled my opponent all the fight. Even if he was many times successful with his techniques, I controlled distance, rhythm, and precision of my hits. Now it is time to make a step up and show it. Let's go for that." Justin Gaethje has confirmed that his upcoming interim title fight against Paddy Pimblett could be the last of his career. Speaking with Aaron Bronstetter of Sportsnet, Gaethje acknowledged that while he still competes at a championship level, he's aware he's nearing the end of his run. Gaethje said he would retire if he suffers another knockout loss.
You've always given me a number of how many wars you have left in you. Do you still? What is that number today?
One more knockout. I went to sleep. Before that, I'd never been put to sleep. If I would get put to sleep again, I would definitely call it quits.
Really? So you're drawing a line?
That's been my line. Yeah, it never happened. So it wasn't like if I get knocked out, I'm quitting. But once I got knocked out, 37 years old. If I was 20, 27, 30, this would be a different story. But this is not the beginning. This is definitely the end of my career, and it's been such an amazing thing. And obviously, they'll use and abuse you in this sport, and you have to protect yourself. And I obviously have created a team. I got my family and my coaches, and they all have my best interest in at hand. And I've always told them that I'm in it till they say I don't have it no more. Or whenever I feel like my younger self, the hunger of my younger self can beat the skills that I have now, then it would be done.
Alexander Volkanovski isn't planning on retiring anytime soon. Ahead of UFC 325, speculation began circulating online that Volkanovski might retire following his fight with Diego Lopez. However, during a recent appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, Volk shut down those rumors, saying he has no idea where they came from and confirming that he has no plans to retire.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from exactly. Obviously, I guess whether people are just going off what I say, like I'm like, how many more do I have? If I was to get beaten up, am I gonna come back to fight? No, you know what I mean. But that's not my plans, unless something things go horrendously wrong. I'm planning on going back out there. Whether the next one, taking on an undefeated fighter in the UFC or something like that. I mean, that's appealing. Maybe that could be one that I finish up on. But right now, I plan on everything going well, getting my hand raised, hopefully taking minimal damage so I can have a quick turnaround and still fighting. So the plan isn't definitely to retire, you know what I mean? So that's, I don't know where that comes from.
Okay.
There was a talk straight after my last fight. I'm like, how many more? You never know. There were talks like that. But as soon as I started training, I was like, let's keep going.
Francis Ngannou is keen to return to MMA, and his coach would love to see it happen in the UFC octagon. In a recent interview with MMA Fighting, Ngannou's head coach Eric Nixick shed some light on what's next for the former champ. The biggest revelation was that Ngannou is apparently chomping at the bit to fight again. He is also apparently already in fantastic shape, despite his hiatus from competition. Nixick said, "We've talked recently, and that's basically what he said. He goes, 'Hey Bubba, I want to come back and get back into MMA.' I told him, we need to get back before a fight is booked and start getting your body to where we're comfortable. And he's actually in really, really good shape. He's the lightest I've ever seen him. He called and FaceTimed, I saw his face right away and it was like chiseled. Usually, he's like a little bit more plump and he's been eating and stuff like that. But his knee is feeling good, so he's getting his road work. He's training every day and his weight was down. I was like, yo, we got something coming up? And he goes, yeah, I'm working on a few things. So hopefully we see him back in the cage in 2026. And then the sky's the limit for him, man." Nixick continued, "On a personal level, I'd love to be able to see him compete in the UFC just because of the level of competition that he would go against. But if he fights Vadim Nemkov, shit, he looked great in his last fight too. So he's a guy that we've got to take serious. So whatever opponent rises, we'll be ready for." Dricus du Plessis is back in the gym. The former champion has kept a low profile since losing his title to Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 319 in August, but it appears he's back to work. Du Plessis was recently spotted hitting mitts and sparring at Bang Tao Muay Thai and MMA in Thailand. Former middleweight champion Israel Adesanya is back in action with a main event fight booked against Joe Pyfer at the upcoming UFC Seattle card scheduled for March 28th at the Climate Pledge Arena. UFC CEO Dana White announced the matchup on Tuesday.
Seattle, we're coming back. We'll be back on March 28th to the Climate Pledge Arena. The main event, former middleweight champion Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer. Adesanya, former two-time middleweight champ, 16 of his 24 wins by knockout, and Joe Pyfer is on a 3-fight win streak, and since winning the Contender Series, all but one of his wins have come by finish.
White also announced a previously confirmed flyweight fight between former champion Alexa Grasso and Macy Barber for the co-main event.
Also on the card, we have former champ Alexa Grasso facing Macy Barber. Grasso is currently ranked number 3 in the flyweight division and is the first female ever Mexican UFC champion. Number 5 ranked Macy Barber is on a 7-fight win streak. She's second all-time in flyweight history for wins, knockout, and win streak, only behind Valentina Shevchenko. Tickets are on sale February 6th on Ticketmaster. Ladies and gentlemen, March 28th from Seattle, Washington, and streaming on Paramount Plus. I'll see you up in Seattle. Have a good day, everybody.
Both Adesanya and Pyfer reacted to the announcement on social media. Adesanya wrote, "Aw shit, here we go again." Joe Pyfer responded, "I'm blessed for the opportunity against one of the greatest middleweights of all time. Little Joey P is on his way. Hard f***ing work incoming. Self-belief and faith can pull any man out of a dark time. Let's go get this shit." Joe bodybags Pyfer. What a life. Many fans were unhappy with the way Dana White announced the fights, noting how the approach has changed over the years and arguing that it reflects the UFC's declining focus on properly promoting matchups. Popular content creator MMA On Point shared that sentiment on social media, tweeting, "2016, the UFC used to do promos for fight announcements. 2019, Dana used to go on major media outlets to announce fights. 2022, Dana starts to announce fights on YouTube, in a studio, proper production. 2025, Dana starts doing fight announcements on Instagram Live. 2026, Dana does fight announcements on Instagram, doesn't even charge his phone for them. The UFC actually do not care about promoting the sport now, it's just a cash cow for billionaires. Part of the blame actually goes to the fans who tolerates mediocrity." Another wrote, "It is actually crazy how little they care. I'm curious at what point Dana lost the fire." That last f***ing line hit the nail on the head. So many people would tell me who cares when I would talk shit about the shitty production of the UFC. Now look where we are. We didn't complain enough and now we get shit, lol. His only job is to appease the board and infinitely increase profits shareholders. Another tweeted, "Lack of competition brought this. The fans are not responsible, they're hostages of UFC supremacy. The Dana White derangement syndrome is insane." Another intriguing matchup was announced Tuesday night as Paulo Costa officially moves up to light heavyweight to face number 6 ranked undefeated contender Azamat Murzakanov at UFC 327 on Saturday, April 11th, 2026 at the Gaethje Center in Miami. The news was first reported by Larete Viana. Costa was initially booked to face Bruno Ferreira at UFC 326, but withdrew just days after the fight was announced for undisclosed reasons, continuing a frustrating pattern of cancellations. The 34-year-old is coming off a much-needed decision win over Roman Kopylov at UFC 318, snapping a 2-fight skid following losses to former champion Sean Strickland and Robert Whittaker. UFC 327 will mark Costa's second appearance at 205 pounds. His first came in 2021 under unusual circumstances, when he weighed in roughly 25 pounds heavy for a scheduled middleweight bout with Marvin Vettori, forcing the fight to be contested at light heavyweight. Meanwhile, Murzakanov has quietly emerged as one of the division's most dangerous finishers. The 36-year-old Russian is a perfect 6-0 in the UFC with 5 knockouts, most recently scoring a first-round KO of Alexander Rakic with a crushing jab. Here are the top 3 memes found on the internet. Number 3 meme was posted by B9RKT. Number 2 meme was posted by Houdini MMA. And number 1 meme was posted by Beaver Smash TV. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with the latest MMA news.